Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome to the Ghost Biker Garage. I'm your host, the Ghost Biker, and I want to thank you all so much for coming on tonight. It's kind of a special, different show. We're going to be talking about some really cool things that we've been posting about this week. I first of all want to say welcome to, I know we've got a lot of different people that are kind of new to the show. So I want to welcome everyone that's here from Mix 104.1, as well as everyone that is here from Scott County. I know we shared tonight's show on a lot of the different local history and Scott County websites. So I know that there's a lot of you folks here. A few folks over here in the chat room. We've got Matthew, Joe, Terry, and a few others that I can't see who you are, but if you comment in the chat room, I'll be sure to pull these up here onto the screen. And if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and put those on there, because I know we're going to be covering a lot of really cool topics and things tonight that's of interest to a lot of people. So if we put a call out if there is anyone who is familiar with the historic Scott County Jail and you're on here and you have a story, if you worked there, if you did time there, or if you are familiar with it at all, if you have any stories, please feel free to go ahead and put that into the comments there. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my guest tonight onto the show, Dr. Christy Sumner.
Hey, guest and business partner.
That's right. That's right.
Guest and business partner.
That's right. Yeah. So like I said, tonight is a special show. We're going to be talking about our new project that we're doing, as well as some exciting new news that we have posted this week. So how have you been, Christy?
Been very good, very good. As you know, we've been extremely busy trying to get this new endeavor up and running. And a lot of people in the chat room will actually be seeing us on Saturday when we're in Franklin, Kentucky. So we're looking forward to that. And then Jenny and I, as Soul Sisters, are marching across the east. They're going to do some investigations at Poasttown Elementary. And then we're going to hit Twinsburg, Ohio for the Twins Day Festival. So a lot going on in the next week and a half.
Yeah, very, very, very busy. So I'm actually going to go on here. If you'll give me just a second, I'm going to share this onto the historic Scott County page. So just bear with me just a second there.
So while she's doing that, thank you everybody for getting on and commenting. We're really excited about this upcoming venture, and we're going to look forward to talking about it tonight, giving you a little bit of insight of what's going on, our grand unlocking event, how we got to this position, and just really kind of giving you a little bit of background information. But like Miranda said, if you have any questions about what we're doing or why we're doing it, just go ahead and put them in the comments, and we'd love to talk to you about it.
Yeah, so it looks like that's shared now. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about our new endeavor that we've been doing. You know, I just want to say I've received a lot of different messages, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, even. I have been a little MIA lately. Because we have been extremely busy with this. I'm working on Ghost Biker Season 4, trying to get all of this up and running for our grand unlocking. And so I just want to let everyone know I am not ignoring you. And, you know, the location that we're also in, it is across the state here in Tennessee, and up in the mountains, it is a very rural area, and I don't have service. So in certain parts. So I just want to say I'm not ignoring everyone. I will resurface soon. So just be patient and persistent with me. But let's talk a little bit about our endeavor.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've actually had a lot of questions about what we're doing. So just a little bit of background information. As you know, Miranda and I, Ghost Biker and Soul Sisters, we became friends through the paranormal. We've done several collaborative investigations together. So we'd actually decided, she and I, to form this venture called History, Highways, and Haunts, LLC. And so Miranda is still Ghost Biker. I'm still with Soul Sisters. So those two entities are They're still in existence, and we're still going to do our own thing. However, Miranda and I have, like I said, formed History Highways and Haunts LLC. So what we've decided to do is actually take that company and open the historic Scott County Jail in Scott County, Tennessee. And we're going to be opening for general history tours, ghost walks, special events, paranormal tours, ghost hunts, and such. But our drive is really to get the history of Scott County and get it into this location, because it is a fascinating building with a fascinating history.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if any of you all have actually seen it, I mean, just the character of what the building itself looks like. And it's really, our goal is to make this accessible for the community, for paranormal research, and, just be able to open this up. And I can't think of anyone else that I would rather partner with. This has been something that we've talked about for a while, not necessarily with the jail. That was an opportunity that opened up earlier this year. But we had talked about doing this, opening a tour company. And, myself being an avid motorcycle rider and doing, haunted motorcycle rides. Dr. Sumner is also a motorcycle rider. So all of this was going to encompass travel as well as paranormal, and be very, very heavy on history and historical locations. And so that's really where History Highways and Haunts came from. We're going to be able to be headquartered here in the historic Scott County Jail. And it's just going to create a great opportunity, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So, some of the background work that we've been doing, we actually signed a lease with the city of Huntsville, and they allowed us to, like I said, to go in and really start positioning ourselves to open for general history tours, as well as paranormal tours. We're also going to be doing some other things as well. We'll have a gift shop, a small concession stand, and really just utilize the building as a community building, honestly. We have a lot of things that we want to do to bring the community in and encourage the citizenry of Scott County to come in and enjoy this building with us. And also what we've done is we've asked for anybody who wants to donate an item or loan an item to our museum. We're going to put a law enforcement museum as well as a crime and punishment museum, and really utilize the jail in that capacity as well. So first of all, thank you to those people who have reached out to us with your donations and your items that you're going to loan to us. We sincerely appreciate it. So right now, all of that stuff is in the works. We've got a lot of different things, a lot of moving pieces right now, but we're really looking forward to getting that all together and opening on September 4th.
Yeah, and I just kind of want to kind of mention a few things with what you said about the museum there. We did a post, I think about a week and a half ago, asking for anyone that has anything that they would be willing to put on donation or on loan. We have gotten a great response. We are still looking for more. Really, the way we sort of envision this is really three-part. It's going to be very heavy on the Scott County local law enforcement and history of crime and punishment within the county. And then we're going to take it a step further and hit Tennessee, because, with all 95 counties, I mean, each have their own story. And of course, we can't cover all of that, but it is so closely related with the region that we're in. And then we're going to even go even broader and have some national exhibits in there as well. So, in memory of, fallen officers. I mean, really nothing is off limits with this. We're looking for anything that we can to honor law enforcement and talk about the true crime.
Absolutely. And like I said, we've gotten several donations and items on loan that we feel are very unique, very historical, both the Scott County and the neighboring counties. We've got a few things from the Department of Corrections, the Tennessee Department of Corrections. We're very grateful for those. So right now it really is in those stages of compiling all of that. We're getting display cases. I just picked up one today that we're excited about. It's funny, that a display case can really make you excited, excited, but it's those little things right now that we're really trying to put together, and so we can really have a top-notch display, one that the community can really be proud of, and know that we're using this jail for that historical significance.
Yeah, because the jail itself is a great museum piece. I mean, just from the way it looks, the character of it, the stories within it, the way it's built, it's in and of itself, and it just makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a comment here from Matthew, who is a Scott County native. He says, it is an amazing location. It's also across the street from the library and historical society. And he brings up a good point. Huntsville in and of itself has such a rich history. I mean, Scott County as well. And so just the location of where it's at, is going to actually open up for us to do a lot of different community as well as paranormal events. Mm-hmm. Being right there at the library, at the courthouse, they have a wonderful historical society that takes up the second floor on the courthouse. And so if you do come to do paranormal research, we can talk to you beforehand and give you the hours of that location, because we would definitely encourage, with as much history as we have in Scott County alone, to go and spend some time inside of that historical society. And the guys that work there, I mean, they know their stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I see that Christy Carson said that she has pictures of her uncle when he was sheriff. Those are the type of things that we're looking for, to really to highlight the significance of the local law enforcement from Scott County. We're definitely going to put all of that on display, as Miranda said. So we're excited about getting these displays up and running, because to Miranda's point earlier, that it really is our main drive behind this. Mm-hmm. We to highlight the historical aspect of the building, and we really want to utilize it for that look and feel. The paranormal for us obviously is extremely exciting as well, but we want those that really aren't paranormal driven or investigation driven to come and enjoy it as well. So we've got a lot of things, like I said, that we're working on, that we're excited to announce. We've just got our website, as many of you saw, we've got that live. Miranda did an amazing job of putting that together. So to be able to have that live now, it really is really bringing this to fruition. It really is like it's ready to go now, and we're very excited to share that with everybody.
Yeah, because this was a huge learning experience for both Christy and I. Doing this. We had just learning about doing business, learning about it from the museum aspect. I mean, we both have a lot of experience on the paranormal side, but trying to make it something that is enjoyable and has something for everybody is really what we're trying to do. So it's been learning everything from starting an LLC to going in and just getting everything just right, to designing the website. I feel as though being investigators, it's really sort of helped us, because we know what we want and what we like to see. Mm-hmm. And so something that we're going to do for the paranormal community, as well as for anyone else that comes, is being accessible, really.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Being accessible. I mean, we may be a little bit spread kind of thin in the very beginning here, getting it started, but we want to make sure we're accessible. We wanted to design a website that was, and we'll go through it here in a few minutes, because again, I'm extremely proud of this. I feel like I've given birth to it.
You have.
But, we wanted to design and create something that was easy to use, that you were able to go book online and not have to necessarily reach out, call us, coordinate schedules, really just making it easy to use. And so I do welcome any feedback when you go in here and start using this. But we're going to make the website is going to be a robust one-stop shop that has information, because we intend to have lots of events at this location, both paranormal and historical, and stuff that's kind of outside the box that you might not actually think about doing in a location like this. So we're going to be putting all of that on there. So it's going to be a website that you're going to want to bookmark, because we're going to constantly have interesting things on there that is going to be including the community and everyone in it.
Absolutely. So we talked a little bit about, what we're doing with the Law Enforcement Museum and the Crime and Punishment Museum. But for those who are interested in the paranormal investigations and the paranormal research, we do have a lot. We obviously have you guys in mind as well. So, this is a location. Obviously, it's a new location. It has electricity. It has running water. It has bathrooms. It has heat and air. So it really is a location that we feel just really encompasses all those things that you want as a paranormal investigator. So we're really excited to share that with the paranormal community as well.
Absolutely. And that's the cool thing about it is, so the way we're kind of structuring our opening is we're unlocking history, and we are having our grand unlocking on September 4th. Mm-hmm. And so I'll pull that up here in a few minutes. Some of the details about that we're still working on, but it's hopefully going to be a fun community event. Because that's kind of the thing about this location. It closed down in 2007, and it was it's on the National Historic Registry, and through a grant, they were able to fix it up and get windows repaired, get it painted. They accessed inmate labor as well, and so it fixed it up to be a great facility. But it's not been open and accessible to the public since back in 2007. Mm-hmm. I did have the honor of actually being one of the first to investigate back in 2014, and that was before they actually fixed it up. Mm-hmm. And so it was a very active night, and we've gone in and investigated some as well. And so so the way we're structuring this is we've actually opened up the website to go ahead and book investigations starting the third week of August, mm-hmm. actually before we open. So if you go in and book one of those dates before the 4th, you will more than likely be getting in before we're finished with having the museum set up and having, some of the different items in there. However, because we're trying to get all of that as much as we can set up before the 4th. Mm-hmm. But we are open with those dates starting the third week in August. We couldn't really quite do it much earlier than that, just because, we've been in there from early to late cleaning and
they painted it, but they didn't really clean it that much. So if you've never cleaned 3-story jails before, it's an interesting experience. So to Miranda's point, we've definitely been cleaning it up and getting it all ready.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just looking over here at some of the comments. Again, mm-hmm. Thank you guys so much. Keith Jackson, seeing how excited you are about this endeavor just makes me excited about it also. And we have been busting at the seams to, we've been working on this since March, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. March. And, just going through the process of presenting our business plans and putting everything out there, and then dotting our I's and crossing our T's. And we just really couldn't say anything until things were definite. And so we found out at the end of June that everything was a go. And so then it was kind of, okay, now we gotta do this, gotta make this happen.
Got to understand sales tax and business licenses and all of that. So, but to Miranda's point, it's definitely been a learning experience. And Keith, thank you for being on here tonight. We definitely are excited about sharing this with the community as well as the paranormal community.
Yes, absolutely. And Christy says, when I used to go visit when I was a little girl, I saw jail cells close and open when no one was in them. I have tons of great memories in this place. And we're looking forward to talking to you, talking to other Scott County natives who have either worked there or, like I said, spent time there. A lot of people who spent time at the jail has been reaching out to me. Some have spent multiple times there for multiple years, and others have been, a couple days here and there. But a lot of people who, that's the thing there in Scott County is there's a lot of pride. There's pride in the community, pride in their heritage and their history, and so there's a lot of people that's excited to get in. So we're excited to hear their stories and be able to share those and put those out there.
I like Matthew's comment here. Y'all need to put them Hanes to work with a broom. Actually, we would just like them to stop taking our tools while we're working. That would be a big bonus.
Yes. So a couple interesting stories about that. My first task when I was there was cleaning the kitchen and polishing the stainless steel stuff. And so was in there working in the kitchen and was running my shop vac up under the dumbwaiter. So they have this dumbwaiter that runs from the kitchen there to the first and the third floors. And so as I was running it up under there, a razor blade fell out. And it was an old rusty razor blade that was somehow affixed up under the dumbwaiter. So I'm sure it was some type of contraband that someone had hidden inside there. And I took it out and I set it off to the side there. And it's missing. It's absolutely missing now. I went back a little bit later to show it to Christy, and it was gone. Also, my scissors,
Scissors
sharp,
are gone. Yeah.
The scissors, I cannot find them anywhere. I mean, yes, it's a 3-story jail, but it's open, and there's not.
And we're meticulous about our tools. So the fact that a pair of red-handled scissors that we bought from Ace the day before is now completely MIA is very interesting to us.
Yes. So the razor blade's missing, the scissors are missing, and then it was earlier this past weekend. I had a paint scraper in there, and I was using it on the second floor. And I went down to take care of some stuff, came back up, it was gone. And so I couldn't find it anywhere. I had not been up on the third floor. I went up to clean the walls on the third floor, and the paint scraper was laying in the floor there on the little landing on the third floor. So I don't know. I mean, sharp things
seem to have a way of walking away.
I'm hoping that they'll return the razor blade whenever we're moving.
And the scissors, they were like $2.
I know. I could have used those scissors multiple times. I've had to use a knife instead, but I'm keeping my knife on my person just because I don't want to lose that. But Christy did actually leave a box cutter setting up there. And what's interesting about it, so she left the box cutter. The box cutter was still there. But whenever my paint scraper was missing, I was up there and I was just like, guys, come on. We're trying to make a great place and just trying to finish this work up here and make it where people can come in and visit. And it's like, please, just let me finish this. And it was right after that we found it. So yeah, we've been having little things like that happen, which has been pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's see here. Just looking at a few of these. Peppy, thank you so much for sharing the website. We've also had quite a few other people sharing and helping us get the word out. We've had people all over the country sharing that. And so, we are a little bit about kind of where we're located here in Huntsville, Tennessee. It is a very small rural town in the mountains. There are a lot of things to do if you're really big into ATV, recreational mountain riding, mountain bikes, dirt bikes, razors, that sort of thing. Brimstone Recreation is there as well as the Big South Fork. So there's a lot of outside stuff. If you like the paranormal, we're 45 minutes north of Brushy Mountain Prison. We are also, we're 2 hours north of Chattanooga, which has, Old South, it's over on South Pitt, but Old South Pitt Hospital, as well as Hell's Bar Dam. And then, and please correct me if I'm missing anything, Christy.
Rugby right there, 20 minutes away from the jail.
Yes, Rugby is a phenomenal place, and you can go in and investigate some of the village. And if you're not into that, it's just really steeped in a lot of history. So it's only 25 miles down the road from there. So, so a lot to see if you come. It's a good destination stop, but it's also a good pass-through stop as well.
Absolutely. And we're going to have all of this on the website. And if anybody wants to contact us about, things to do, where to stay, we do have those FAQs on the website, but we also are available to make recommendations or to point you in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to, if you're cool with it, Christy, I'm going to go ahead and pull the website up for a few minutes just to, okay, can everybody hear me? Okay? All right, so let me see if I can change this. So again, we're going to be having the grand unlocking on September 4th, and we're still in the process of getting all of this set up and getting the details of it. But as of right now, we're hoping that our concession area will be open. But just in case it's not, there will be food available, whether it's food trucks or something else. There will be food available at this event, and we're also going to have entertainment as well. People will be able to tour the museum, and there is a cost for that. It will be $10 plus tax for adults, and I believe the military and senior discounts are $7 plus tax, and children 0 to 4 are free. So, but we'll have all of that information. We've not posted pricing or hours just yet because we're waiting for September 4th to get a little bit closer. But for the actual event, we've got the hours posted as 12 to 4. Did I leave anything out on that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. No. Just come out and have fun, see the jail, have some food, listen to some music. That's kind of where our vision is for the 4th.
Yeah. And let's see here. And so we do have where you can go on if you either click on the picture or click on the events section. You can go and you can RSVP. That does not get your ticket. I just want to make sure I'm clear. That doesn't get your ticket. That doesn't, and there's no cost to come out. There's just a cost to go through the museum. And so this just kind of, if you hit the I'm going on there, that just kind of gives us, I don't want to say a head count, but kind of gives us
an idea of what we're going to be expecting.
Yeah. And so, but we will be posting information on there as we get more information about these actual events. This is also the section that you'll be able to go to when we have different events at the jail. I know we'll be having, and we'll get into this in just a minute, but we're going to be also having public ghost hunts as well as the private and just different events at the jail. So we'll have all of that listed on here as well as having the information listed there on the calendar as well.
Absolutely.
Let's see. The museum, Christy talked a little bit about that. This section is going to have places where it actually, we will be highlighting some items. But again, and there will also be a form on this page that if you're interested in donating something or putting it on loan, that if you'll reach out to us, we'll have a form on this page and it will contact us directly. You can also reach out to us through the History, Highways, and Haunts email address or on the Historic Scott County Facebook page as well. So there's multiple ways that you can reach out to us if you have an item that you would like to have displayed in the museum as well. And also, as I mentioned, the gift shop, we're hoping that this is coming in fall 2021. We're going to have a lot of, typical things that you would find in a gift shop as far as branded merchandise. Was there something you was going to say? Sorry.
No, just, you're right. Yep. Typical things.
Yeah. Typical things
things.
Typical things you would find in a jailhouse gift shop. But we're going to have Scott County Jail branded merchandise. We're going to have some fun things in there as well. But something I'm actually very, very excited about that we're going to be highlighting in our gift shop is we're going to be putting a call out to local artists or craftsmen that do different things. I mean, you guys who have followed me, I'm an artist. And so one of the things I specialize is in historic buildings and such. If you're an artist, if you're a craftsman, we've got a guy who is making handmade knives. He has a forge. He's from Tennessee here. He has a forge. He's forging us some special little knives. They kind of look like, I'm excited about them because they look like little shivs and shanks, and it's very, very good quality. This guy has, a story about his background as most artists and craftsmen do. And so, we're going to be offering, paracord crosses that have, they're like the blue line or the red line. Yes. Thank you. And so we're going to be able to share their items as well as share their story. So we're going to be putting a call out. And if you or anyone, it can be an author, you can be an artist, some type of artisan. I mean, we will have to review what it is, just to make sure that it is fitting with what we're doing. But we will also have a form on there as well, and we will be doing a call out on that. And then, as Christy mentioned, our snack bar. I mean, how can you not get excited about that? Right now we've got, go ahead.
Just something a little bit different for the town of Huntsville. We really want something that is quick and easy, but also something that you can come and get. Even if, you're just on your lunch break, you don't even have to take a tour of the jail. Just come in, grab something from our snack bar or our concession, and just kind of enjoy it there. We're going to have some picnic tables out by the jail as well. So you can, sit out and enjoy your meal there. So it is something that we're very excited about and a new offering for the town.
Yeah, because it is a small town. There's not a lot of places. Actually, there's not very many at all right there inside the square to eat. And so just a little something. If you're working, you can walk over, or if you want to come and take a tour. We're right now we're anticipating, we're hoping, pending health inspection and all the things we've got to get ready by the 4th. We're hoping to have a small offering by then, but if not, we're anticipating at least by winter 2021 that we will have that up.
Yep.
And as far as the tours go, you want to talk a little bit about the tours, Christy?
Absolutely. So this is really what we're excited about, to really customize these tours to the historic Scott County Jail and also the town of Huntsville. We want to encourage the locals to come in and see their jail, because this does belong to the town and to the county. But we also want tourists to come in and use this as a destination spot. Ride motorcycles in, as Keith said. Dave Harris from White Lightning has been very inclusive of this, and to bring motorcycles in, that's really what we're looking for, tour groups. So we're offering a variety of tours for the jail. We're offering general admission museum tours where you can come in and explore the jail on your own. We're going to have all of these items on display. We'll have descriptions beside of them. In some cases, we may also have some different interactive things that you can do while you're looking at a display. And so that's just the general tour. And then also we'll have guided private tours. If you're a tour group or a motorcycle group that wants to come in and you want a private tour of the jail, we will have those available as well. And we're also going to do some really cool ghost walks. We're going to start those up right after our grand opening, and we'll be able to give you an entire history of the town. So you'll be able to walk with us through Huntsville. We'll point out the historical significance of the buildings, the historical sites, give you some historical background, and then the tour will culminate with a tour of the jail. And then we're going to have flashlight tours where people can come in and just tour the jail during the night, and we'll give you not only the historical background, but also the paranormal background. And then you can, actually experience that while not necessarily being a paranormal investigator, but you can actually have the feel of going in at night and listening to both the history and the paranormal stories.
Yeah, definitely in the month of October, we will probably be really hitting the flashlight tours and stuff really hard. We've got on here, again, we don't have the pricing information or the times on these just yet. These will become clickable links to their own sections where they do have more information. And I don't believe if you're going to do a general tour, you obviously don't, we're not doing booking online for
Right.
that. We are encouraging, once we post our hours, we're not going to take the last ticket will be sold about an hour before closing. I mean, because the way we see this, obviously starting out early on, we're still getting museum items. It's one of those things that can take, if you're just doing the general tour, as little or as long as you want by doing at your leisure. But we're going to set it to an hour to 30 minutes before an hour before it closes. Long day.
Stay with me, Ghost Biker.
I know, long day. So if you got that, we'll have all of that information posted. The ones we are encouraging for you to reach out to us is if you do want a private guided tour, and that would be for some of these groups, like for instance, the retired teacher groups, the motorcycle groups that would be coming in a tour bus, that sort of thing. If you have a lot of people, we are encouraging you to reach out with us beforehand and schedule that, because we potentially, depending on how many, we can kind of close that off and do the special tours.
Absolutely. So, and to Miranda's point, the general tours, you can just walk up and purchase a ticket there. You don't need to book that in advance. So, but again, we're very excited about this, and this is going to be in conjunction with the other events that we will have. So keep looking at that event calendar, because we are going to be adding some really interesting and fun stuff.
Yes. And one thing I do just want to point out, because it is all over our website, is the accessibility of the second and third floors. Because this is an old historic building, it is not ADA compliant. And so the elevator does not work. And the second and third floors are only accessible via stairs. And it's a pretty, what did we, after going up them like 33 stairs?
There's 33 stairs.
Yeah. And it goes kind of, it makes you think of like going up a lighthouse, you know? So unfortunately, if you are handicapped, or if you do struggle with stairs, at this time, it's only reachable by those stairs. So, we're working on, we may have something where we have video downstairs to be able to see the upper, but for now, I just definitely want to point that out, because it is all over our website. And then of course the paranormal, which is what's going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So paranormal tours are absolutely open if you want to book a private paranormal investigation. We do have select dates open from now until the end of the year. We do have a couple of dates blocked off. That is simply because we booked prior commitments last year during COVID. That got pushed to this year, and we signed a contract that we can't get out of those. So we do have a couple of dates that are blocked off as closed, but otherwise Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday nights, beginning in mid-August through December, are open, and you can absolutely book them. And then we will be adding dates for 2021. So just keep checking back if you need a date in 2021. But paranormal investigations, obviously, this is a huge facet of what we're going to be doing at the jail. So the private paranormal investigations are obviously for those in the paranormal community, but we're also going to have public ghost hunts. So if you're not a professional paranormal investigator, you can still come to the ghost hunts. We're going to limit it to 10 people on those hunts, and you can come and sit with us. We will be there as your guides, as your experienced paranormal investigator, to lead you through what a paranormal investigation looks like, and then we'll take you through the jail, and then you'll also have time to investigate on your own. So those will be the public ghost hunts. We will also have, as I mentioned before, have flashlight tours. If you're not really into ghost hunting per se, but you want to be in the jail at night and just hear some creepy stories, we will be having those. Again, we'll put those on the event calendar, and you can book those as we put them up. But like I said, the paranormal is really the second facet of what we're doing, and we're really excited about some of the things that we're going to be offering.
And those public ghost hunts, for anyone on here that is not a paranormal investigator, when you look at the private and that sort of thing, don't be intimidated by the cost and such, because the public ghost hunts, they will be at a reduced cost, a reduced cost per person. And so, we'll be posting those dates because we really have to be kind of strategic about our planning on our calendars here, because trying to get public ghost hunts in, private ghost hunts in, flashlight tours, trying to work it all in to where you're not overlapping and overbooking. So the public ghost hunts will be sort of on a, I would say they'll probably be posted maybe like 3 months at a time or a couple months at a time. And I would say we're sort of anticipating at least doing one of those a month at least.
Yeah.
And
I meant 2022, Janet. I'm sorry. I said 20. You can book through the rest of 2021, and then we'll put dates for 2022. Sorry.
Yeah, get out of 2020.
There's always a critic in the chat room.
And so I'm going to run through real quick, just because when I was programming this, it was kind of a little funky. But and again, please bear with us as we're trying to get this right. And if there are any issues or anything, please reach out to me. But right now on the private paranormal tours, we're doing 8:30 to 3 a.m. Is when you can get there. We're saying the hunt is typically from 9 to 3, because we'll give you a brief tour. If you don't come by during the daytime and do the daytime tour, you will get a tour from 8:30 to 9, where we orient you and tell you some of the different stories. And then one of us will be on site due to our lease and the fact that this is also a functioning museum. One of us will be on site, but we will be out of your way. We have an office there. And so you can come and you can tell us if you have an issue or whatever. But we will be there, but we will not be around. I know some people are funny about that. So I want to make sure that, that I am clear that we will not be up in your business. And and we are, because of some of the areas, it can be a little echoey and sound and everything. We are suggesting 8 or less people. We do have a cap at 12 max, and the cost is for 8 people. If you go any more than that, there is an additional cost per 8 up to 12 max. And it is a non-refundable $100 deposit whenever you book there in the very beginning. And then you can pay the rest at the door. And then we've also got some rules of some things that you can and can't do. That's in the frequently asked questions section, which is below. And if you have any questions on this, then just let us know. This is a non-smoking facility. It's actually a non-smoking property. So you will have to go off of the property to smoke. And I'm going to go just kind of briefly show this, just because I was wanting a full calendar. And so I just kind of want to explain, whenever you are scheduling these online, and it does look a little different on the phone. If you're scheduling on the phone, you do have, it does give you a full calendar, but you can see the full calendar view. It does not block out the days on the full calendar view, but just go to your week that you want. Again, we're going to be starting to offer paranormal tours the 3rd week of August. So if you go to that week, then you will see the days that it is available. And just kind of show you on one, I know we've got a particular one booked the week of November 15th. So if you go on here and look and you see a date that is kind of lighter than everyone, and you mouse over it, says full, then that is that date is not available. Yeah. And so if it obviously, if it doesn't have a time on it, then we're not offering a paranormal investigation that night. And just going through the process of it, I won't go through the whole thing, but when you do select your date and fill out all the information, we do require the team name, as well as a contact email and phone number. We really want to try to get 2 contact numbers, just because so that if anything happens, or if you need to reach out to us, or we need to reach out to you, then we have as many contacts as we're able to. So again, we're trying our best to set this up so that we don't have double bookings or anything like that, that it moves smoothly. And then you just go through the process and you pay your $100 deposit, and that takes care of that. Same with rentals. We are, because this is such a unique facility, we are going to be open for private rentals. And that includes if you're a professional photographer, if you want to use it as a filming location, or if you want to have, mom and dad's 50th wedding anniversary, or even get married in it. We are going to be offering those rental options, and we will have, as things kind of progress, we will have more information about each of those as far as what you can and can't do, contract, reach out type form. But at this time, we're asking if you are interested in booking it for an event, that you reach out to us through the page here, and we can give you the information and secure that date.
Yeah, this is, like as Miranda said, this is a very interesting location. So professional photography, it really lends itself, especially with the lighting. Morning and the evening, it really lends itself to some great photography. And we're going to be doing other things with the community as well, not just for professional photographers, but budding photographers, those amateurs that want a unique place to film also. So we're, again, keep really looking at those that event calendar. We'll send out an email to everybody who has subscribed to the website. So if you haven't done that, we encourage you to do that, and we'll keep you abreast of all the announcements and events that are coming up. But really look at that website, because we will be opening it to some unique things.
Yeah, and if we do, because we will have standard business hours, and if we do have something where it's closed for filming or closed for something, we will make sure that we have that information on the website. So that's why I'm saying it will definitely be important to bookmark this site if you want to come. And then, of course, all the blah, blah about us stuff, about us and about the jail. But y'all know that already. And it's got ways that you can reach out to us. And then also as far as contacting, we do have a phone number at this time, but it's not going to be hooked up until I think it's either the second or third week of August. That one will be hooked up. And so easy to remember, 423-663-5353. But we will have access there, and we will also have our hours put up there. We kind of have an idea, we're hoping eventually, maybe seasonally, to be open 7 days a week, but right now we're still trying to kind of feel through everything and figure out, what's good. Because we're opening later than we had wanted to open. And so, during the week, it may be a little bit different as far as on the weekend. So
yeah, absolutely. And I'm kind of reading here as we're going along. Again, thank you all for being on here with us. John Moore, he says, as a local, he can vouch that it's a very unique building and venue. It absolutely is. John, thank you for watching and for sharing that. And he says the immediate area is historic and well preserved. It absolutely is. I am not a Scott County native. I am from Florida, as most of you know. But just going to this town and learning about the history, learning about the history of the jail, it is just really steep in a very rich background. And the great thing is the locals really embrace their history. And so that is really what is endearing to me about this. So I encourage you, if you're a paranormal investigator or a tourist that just wants to come into the area, contact us, reach out to us. We can absolutely tell you some places that you need to check out, things that you can visit, things that you can do, because it may look small on the map, but it really has a very big history.
It does. And that's one of the things that I'm actually very excited about, is the fact that we're going to really be partnering with a lot of the local businesses, as well as not just in Scott County, but also in the regional area around. What a lot of people may not know is that the The historic Scott County Jail sits in the dead center of the scenic Cumberland Byway, and this was newly designated as a scenic byway. It's a scenic and historic byway, and if you go, and actually, I'm just going to go to the site right now. Yeah.
As Miranda said, it was just designated in January, I believe. It's 200 miles long. It runs through a very rich, history, both scenic and historical route that you can take. So again, motorcyclists can stop by and see us. We're in the dead center, tour buses and tour groups, or if you're just in it, in the area and want to stop by and see us or meet us and, have some light concessions and see a really cool jail, we encourage you to stop by.
Yeah, so it's really cool because, and I'm trying to find that map. I can never remember where it was at, but it encompasses, 8 counties?
8 counties, yeah.
Yeah, it encompasses 8 counties, and there's a whole listing of everything that you can find, everything from historical, cultural, natural, and recreational and scenic sites to, different dining and lodging. So, and the interesting thing about that is the jail sits right in the dead center of it. Mm-hmm. So, so we're going to actually be visiting a lot of the different areas that go to the east and the west of the scenic byway, and really encouraging and advertising the jail along that way, as well as trying to encourage and really just let people know, because I think once they know, because they've just seen it, it's just been sitting there quiet, and so now, now that
it's not going to be quiet.
No,
it's going to be a hub of activity.
Exactly. So, and you can actually look up if you are planning your trip, because I've seen a lot of different comments here in the chat room, which I'll get to here in a second. So if you're planning your trip, you can really look on here. If you're just interested in hitting overlooks and waterfalls and the more natural recreational side of things, then you can actually find those listed on here. If you're more interested in doing the historical sites, which would include the jail and Rugby, then they have those listed on there as well. So it's definitely a good resource that we're going to be capitalizing on ourselves. Let me see here. I see Matthew brings up a good point. I saw this one earlier that I wanted to mention. He said, for any of you guys wanting to investigate it, and I don't say this lightly, there is a bloody history as soon as you approach the front door. Mm-hmm. And he is exactly right. I mean, I won't get into the whole story because we've got another time for that and another, way that we're going to do this. But actually the second sheriff was shot right there in the entrance to the jail. And it's a really interesting story. It's one of Scott County's unsolved mysteries, because I believe it was the day before the sheriff in Oneida was also shot as well. And they've been bringing in some bootleggers and some moonshiners. And so it's believed that he was actually, when he was going into the building, and this was a really big man, and he was a force to be reckoned with, and he was going into the jail, and he was shot from behind from somewhere off to the side. So either some of the locals knew who it was and they just didn't say, or they just never knew. But yeah, it's right there in the entrance to the jail. So thank you, Matthew. And Matthew is someone, he does a lot of research. And so he is actually a really good resource as well. He posts in the State of Scott group, and lots of great stories. And I would encourage people to go check that group out as well. Joe says, I wish I was closer. I would volunteer as a guide. And that's something that may potentially, happen. We've had some different people who were former police officers and such that have mentioned, some different stories and stuff. So, and also Dee Dee asks, how close is the main airport? I know I've seen some different comments over here on the side. Knoxville is the closest airport. It's about 60 miles to the south of there, and it is a good airport. So,
and it's a great ride over. So, you're going to be seeing some of that scenic route that we mentioned from the airport. But that is, there you go. Terry Sue Phillips said it is a beautiful drive from Knoxville, and she's absolutely right.
Yeah. So again, I'm just kind of looking through here. So if you've got something to add, Christy.
Yeah, if you've got any questions, go ahead and pop them up. But, as I said before, we have parking, we have electricity, we have restrooms. One thing that we did not mention, right now, there's not the ability for paranormal investigators to sleep at the jail. I know that is a big thing for a lot of paranormal investigators due to the terms of our lease. We are not allowed to have people actually sleep in the jail, but contact us. We can help you make arrangements. We can point you in the right directions for hotels or bed and breakfasts or Airbnbs in the area. But unfortunately, we can't allow you to sleep in the jail.
Yeah. So, and something else, I guess it's okay for us to go ahead and say this, Christy. Something we were talking about.
What is it?
We're actually going to, she and I will be hosting a podcast.
Yes. There you go. Yes. Okay. I was not sure what we were going with there, but yes, we will be hosting a podcast, a weekly podcast. We're very excited about this. Miranda, if you want to share the details.
Yes. So I mean, still going to be having Ghost Biker Garage. And as Christy had mentioned there in the beginning, we're still going to be doing our own separate things, but we're actually going to be hosting a podcast inside of the jail once a week, which will, we're going to have different people who are going to be sharing stories. I think our first guest is going to be the mayor, and we're going to have, and I'm not sure of the date of when we're going to start this. It will probably start before we actually have the grand opening, I think.
That's what we're aiming for.
Yeah. So we'll have that on. We're also going to have former inmates. We'll be sharing stories. We may end up doing some live streams from there with some investigations and such. I mean, kind of the sky's the limit. It's going to be a very informative podcast. We're also going to, if you're having a paranormal investigation on the night that we do our podcast, we're going to invite you to be a guest to come and you can highlight your team, talking about, how you got started, what you expect at the jail, and if depending on the time when we have it, any evidence you've captured, that sort of thing. So it's really going to be a way to highlight different people and introduce people to the town and to our audience.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And we encourage, as Miranda said, anybody who's local that has a story to tell about the jail, or, just want to come in and sit and chat with us for an hour on our podcast, just get in touch with us, and we'd love to see about getting you on as a guest.
Yeah, because those stories are really what makes everything so interesting about this building. And from different people that I've talked to, I've heard some very interesting stories.
Yeah. Or I mean, even if, if you're a biker that has just gone down the Cumberland Scenic Byway, just go ahead and stop by and tell your adventures on the byway, or anything about, like I said, it's going to be a very eclectic mix of guests. But we really want to highlight the local citizens, the local culture, and really bring that out to the public.
Yeah, definitely highlighting the jail, but I mean, we are history, highways, and haunts, and the highways and the travel are a huge part of this. And so yeah, we're not limiting ourselves to a paranormal podcast or a jail podcast. I mean, we are keeping it very open. Here's a very good question. Peppy says, will teams be able to do live streams while investigating?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this time,
until, and if it becomes a problem, then we may have to, do something with that. But I mean, right now, I think we're going to go ahead and say that teams can go ahead and do that.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's the cool thing about it is in a very safe area, and the 911 center is directly across the street. So at night, it is relatively quiet, and it is in a very safe area. So I know some places don't allow you to live stream because you are kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So, and we will have Wi-Fi So, so yeah. And Terry Long, thank you. I actually want to do a special shout out to Terry.
Thanks, Terry.
From Ohio, the old Licking County Jail. She has been very supportive, sharing everything we're doing in Ohio, and she was a good advocate and someone that we spoke to that gave a lot of good information, because we talked to several different other people who work at other haunted and historic jails. Christy talked to a lot of people at just all over the U.S. that
Right.
did not just jails, but different types of locations like this. And we just really appreciate all of the information that you all were able to give to us, as well as the encouragement. That really means a lot.
Yeah. And again, to Miranda's point, everybody that we've spoken to about this, everybody's been so encouraging, just really behind us 110%. And we just can't thank you enough. So everybody in the chat room, the Mayor Jeffers and the alderman from Huntsville, were behind us 100%. So thank you. And everybody who's really encouraged us to do this and are enthusiastic about it as we are, it just really means a lot. And it really solidifies that we've made a really good decision with what we're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was looking here, just making sure that I didn't miss anything. I saw this comment early, and I wanted to make sure to highlight that. I believe this will be a huge hit, especially when Brimstone has their events, something new for them to check out. And like I said, something for everybody.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely keep an eye out on the website. I know that Christy and I both will be sharing things. You can really follow the Historic Scott County Jail on Facebook, on the website, and also on Instagram. We're working on getting Twitter and a couple other, probably TikTok, some of the different social media sites set up just to kind of hit everybody. And so we'll be posting things about the grand unlocking. We'll also be sharing about any other events and stuff as they get rolling. And we just again, thank everyone and hope that you can make it out for the event. And if not, get a paranormal investigation booked and come check it out.
Absolutely. And as we said before, if you haven't subscribed to the website, we encourage you to do so, because we will be sending out notifications, announcements, reminders, different events, and you will see that information before we post it anywhere else. So we encourage you to go ahead and subscribe. And again, thank you all for your support on this. As I said when we began this, Ghost Biker is still Ghost Biker, Soul Sisters is still Soul Sisters, but to be able to collaborate with Miranda on this and form History, Highways, and Haunts has just been an amazing experience. And we're really looking forward to sharing it with everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll just, like you had mentioned at the very beginning of the podcast, excuse me, about this weekend.
Oh yeah,
We'll just mention a few things that we got coming up this Saturday at the Old Stone Jail in Franklin, Kentucky. They're having their second annual paranormal meet and greet, and I'm truly honored to be able to share the stage with so many great paranormal investigators and speakers. Dr. Sumner and her twin sister, Dr.
Yes.
Sumner, will be there.
Doctor, yes.
Both of the Dr. Sumners will be there. And we've got the fearless ones, Jason and Doogie, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, Pac-Man Paranormal, The Black Wolf Paranormal, Mockingbird, Mockingbird Paranormal. Too many to name. Southern Paranormal. They're coming out of Mississippi. So it's going to be a really big event. They did a great job last year. All the proceeds that are raised from the groups that have tables, as well as entry there to the event, goes to the Franklin County Historical Society and Old Stone Jail. So it is for a good cause. As most of you guys know that work in this, or that are paranormal investigators, the historical societies were hit hard last year, and really, they don't make a lot of money on a good year anyways. So they can definitely use the support, and it is a very cool location. And if you've not been to Franklin, Kentucky, you've got the Old Stone Jail and Octagon Hall up there as well. So that's this Saturday from, I get the times confused. They're in Central Time Zone. Is it 1 to 5?
I think it's noon Central Time to 5 Central Time.
Okay.
I believe. Just check their Facebook page.
Yeah.
The Old Stone Jail in Kentucky, Franklin, Kentucky.
Exactly. And let's see. Just double checking to make sure I'm not missing anything. The Old Stone Jail on August 14th is the autism awareness ride. I mentioned that last week. We'll be having a poster up there on the page. This is their 8th annual. I was asked, I've participated in it in years past, and last year, the Widow's Sons Masonic Lodge Riding Association, they invited me to set up a booth. So we'll be doing that and doing the ride again this year. Information on that. I think it's registration at 10, kickstands up at noon. And that information will be posted on the site there. And then we're rolling into our soft grand opening for Paranormal Investigators there at the jail. And then also looks like for myself, I don't have anything until the September 4th grand opening there, or grand unlocking. So anything you want to add?
No, again, just thank you everybody for joining us tonight and for all of the encouragement. As I mentioned earlier, we will be there in Kentucky on Saturday. Then Jenny and I will be investigating Poasttown Elementary next week with some very special guests. So be on the lookout for that. We may go live from there. We've invited a couple people to join us on that. And then we'll be in Twinsburg, Jenny and I, for the Twins Day Festival. And then I do want to mention then, if you're in Las Cruces, New Mexico, if you're in that area, October 2nd and 3rd, we're going to have a great Paracon. Leon Wilkes is on here. He will be one of the speakers also, along with Miranda. So that's going to be a great event. So if you're in that area, please stop by and see us, get some tickets, and listen to some great speakers.
Yeah, and if you all have watched past Ghostbiker episodes, the name Leon Wilkes is definitely familiar. He is my demonologist that worked with me on the Sunset Hill case. And so I'm going to be actually doing a double presentation in Las Cruces. And again, this is their first annual Paracon, guys. So they're putting a lot of hard work into this, and real excited to meet a lot of folks out there that we don't really see over here on the East Coast. So looking forward to meeting some new folks. But I'll be doing a double presentation, and I'll be doing it with Leon Wilkes. We'll be talking about the Sunset Hill case and talking about that from conception all the way to the home liberation on that. So, that's definitely a big one that's coming up in early October.
And if you're not in New Mexico, but you know somebody that is, tell them to come on out, because it is going to be a great event. Soul Sisters will be there, and we'll be speaking on paranormal tourism and historic preservation.
Nice. And I know we've got some other events lined up coming up, but we won't inundate with all of that, right. And because we've given a lot of information here. So again, go check out the website, subscribe to it, and get those paranormal investigations booked, because those may fill up kind of fast once those dates, because they are a limited number here through the remainder of the year. So, but again, thank you all so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys are wonderful. And I just want to say next week, let me double check, on next Thursday night, let's see, my guest will be author Sin Dixon. And so I'll have her on. She'll be talking about her most recent book release, and I think it's going to be a great show. So anyway, until next week, which again, y'all may be seeing us live, or somebody live next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday
at Poasttown. If we don't see you this weekend at the Old Stone Jail, check out next week's potential live or the next live stream. So y'all take care until then.
Good night, everybody.